It's not the overspending, it's the cost of living. Here is a breakdown of the average Gen Z and millennials cost of living in today's world. So number one is rent. Everyone knows that Gen Z and millennials have to have a roommate. So splitting a two-bedroom apartment with utilities is around $1,500. If you have a car, a $12,000 to $15,000 used car is still going to run you $400 a month. Car insurance and gas is another $300. Student loan payment $500. You're going to have groceries for $500. You're going to have personal care, doctor's appointments, hair, gym about $150, and then cell phone and miscellaneous $150. That's $3,500 a month, which is baseline.
Okay. Cell phone, I'm not paying $150. I'm paying $20 a month. I have a family plan. Be wise, even if you're not on a family plan, like get a group of friends and like join, like have multiple lines. You know what I'm saying? I'm not paying for no cell phone on a monthly basis. I'm gonna buy mine used off of eBay or Amazon, and I'm gonna pay cash for it. Or I'm gonna buy a phone off of somebody I know. I bought this phone from somebody I know for $150. It's an iPhone 14 Plus. No, it's not the best phone in today's world, but it does everything I need to do in order for me to make money and show up to my 9 to 5. Gas, y'all gonna hate me for saying this, but I have a Tesla and I don't pay $300 for gas. I might pay. I'm gonna show y'all the stats real quick, and then we're gonna go back to it. I want to give y'all real numbers. Let me see. Charge stats. In the past month, I have paid, and this is actually more than what I actually spent. It's actually a miscalculation. It's probably like $40 cheaper than that. In gas, I've paid $125 in a month. In the last 30 days, $125. In December 2025, I spent $95. It's one of the reasons why I love electric vehicles, or at least a Tesla.
Do you know how much $3,500 a month is? $70,000 a year, or $34 an hour. Because after you take out taxes, put $300 for health insurance, and do a healthy $500 401k contribution, that leaves you at $3,500. This is no fun, no savings, no maintenance, no clothes, no kids, no traveling, no vacations, no bachelor parties, no weddings, no funerals, no clothes, no school supplies, nothing.
Hold on. Okay. Well, the clothes, like I said, I'm very simple on the clothes. Y'all see me almost every show, every video. I'm wearing a black shirt. I go to Sam's Club, buy these things for $6. I work out, pay a $25 gym membership that my job has a benefit for, and it pays for the gym membership for me. But these don'ts like $6, man. If you work out, you ain't got to keep buying all these clothes and stuff. I could care less about a name brand. That's crazy though. Yeah, he's spitting facts right now.
And this is paycheck to paycheck. And on top of it, they're holding $40,000 of student loan debt, a $15,000 car, and if they ever wanted to buy a house with closing costs and the down payments, another $50,000. So they need $105,000. So even if they were somehow able to scrounge up after $70,000 of paycheck to paycheck, $5,000 to go to a concert, to have avocado toast, whatever it is, $5,000 a year, it would take them 20 years to pay off this debt and save up for a house. 20 years.
Okay, so a house is a scam unless you're making money from it. You know, it's the American lie to where, yeah, you own it, so you're winning. No, your ass owe the banks. We got a home ownership topic coming up later on in the show. I'm not about to get into it with y'all, man. But owning a house, no. People count it as an asset. Oh, the equity can go up. Okay, but it's not in your account. You know what I'm saying? Is it liquid? You counting vanity metrics right now because you're not even touching it. You feel me? It's nah, bruh.
Living in America right now feels like a punishment. You wake up already behind, you go to work just to stay broke, and you watch the cost of everything rise while your paycheck doesn't move an inch. Groceries are a luxury, rent is robbery, healthcare is a joke, and somehow we're the ones blamed for not budgeting better. People are working 2-3 jobs and still choosing between food or gas. Families are crammed into apartments because buying a house became a fantasy. You can't afford to get sick, you can't afford to rest, you can't afford to exist. But they keep telling us the economy's strong. Strong for who? Because it sure as hell isn't the people doing the work. We're out here treading water while billionaires build rockets, politicians.
That's the problem right there. You know, I was listening to a podcast earlier this week talking about how if you don't have multiple streams, you probably don't have a lot of money. Let that sink in. If you don't have multiple streams of income, you probably don't have a lot of money. Why? Because you don't have many things working for you besides you. That's the difference. Oh, billionaires. They got other people working for them. They have assets working for them. And you can get mad at the world and people can play victim if they want to. Well, it's hard out here. People with kids and look. Last time I checked, nobody held a gun to your head and made you have kids. All right. People use kids as excuses, and I don't even have kids. I got nieces and nephews. But here's the thing. People use their kids more of as an excuse more than a reason to do better in life. That's the thing that I hate about hearing these kids' excuses. Oh man, we got kids. What? That's motivation, bro. I ain't even got kids, and I'm motivated to take care of my future family.
Trade stocks and corporations raise prices just because they can. We were promised opportunity. We got survival. And what makes this worse is watching people blame themselves. Like somehow you failed because you can't afford a one-bedroom anymore. Like you didn't do enough, when the truth is the math just stopped adding up years ago. They told us to work harder, but never told us they'd change the finish line.
Because it's a lie.
This isn't a country full of lazy people. It's a country full of exhausted ones.
Exhausted and lazy. Let's be real here. It's okay to be exhausted. There's nothing wrong with that. Being lazy is a choice. Being exhausted isn't. So if we focus on what we can control, lazy versus exhausted, lazy, you're choosing not to do something. If you're exhausted, you can't, right? But everybody isn't exhausted. Let's be honest. They watching Netflix tonight. They watching Hulu. They're not reading books. They stopped learning after they got out of college or out of high school. They only have one stream of income. Yeah, they might be saving up for retirement, but they have no other way of multiplying their efforts to make more money while they're not working. They're begging their bosses and their employers for a raise because they've been there for a specific amount of time. And all of this comes from a lie, a foundation of a lie. If you work harder, you deserve more work. I challenge you to think outside the box and say, if you work hard running, the person driving the sports car is still going to pass you. So learn how to work harder in a different vehicle.
How am I going to pay you $500 a month if I'm getting paid $9?
It's $9 an hour, not $9 a day. $9 per hour.
Shut your mouth. I'm going to go on my calculator. $9 times like 8.
Yeah.
72.
And they're going to take taxes out too.
So like $60.
And Social Security.
$500 a month and I'm getting $60 a day? You're taking like all my money. Are you paying for my gas? Are you feeding me?
I'll feed you.
Are
yes.
you paying for my gas?
No.
Then you're not getting $500 a month.
Where are you going to live, Ava?
I'm gonna live with you, but
So it sounds like that's her mom or something about to charge her rent. And don't get me wrong, math is math. And you know, what's interesting is most people don't ask themselves the question when they're in situations like this, whether they're her age, she looks like she's like 18, 19 years old. They don't ask themselves the question, how can I, right? They usually say what they can't do. I can't do that. Well, why not ask yourself the question, how can I? It's so much more simple, right? Because now you can be creative off of how you make money. And people don't recognize how easy it is for you to change your perspective. It's so easy to change your perspective because, well, it's easy once you get access to it. But people have to get exposed to this type of information because at the end of the day, there's no way out for a person that has this type of mindset. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below.
you're not gonna kick me out.
Ava. Okay, so you have to pay $500?
I can't. There's no way I can. Wait, so like, so basically like $50.
So this is cool because it's her mom, you know what I'm saying? She got a good relationship with her, obviously. But this is the same conversation grown-ups be having when it's the cost of living. How can we? I can't. And it's like, how can you? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, people can say it's easier said than done, but I don't believe people really even attempt to make more. You hear people all the time, I don't want to start a business. Not everybody is meant to be a business owner. If there was everybody that was a business owner, then there'd be no employees. Is that your excuse to stay poor? To have a weak mindset like that?
Being an American right now is some scary fucking shit. Studio apartment, $2,500. Average cost of a car, $50,000. You want a bacon, egg, and cheese? Motherfucker, them eggs cost $20. You need gas to fill up that $50,000 car? Well, get ready to spend $70. The government? Yeah, that's no longer a thing, buddy. You want to be educated and go to school so you could do something with your life? Well, sorry. That's no longer a thing. If you happen to look something like I do, Hispanic, we're gonna send you out of the country, even though you were born here. Oh, and that small check that you earn every week, yeah, I'm gonna have to take half of that. Give me that. And that car that you paid $50,000 for, we're gonna have to charge you taxes every year for that too. Pretty much, living a comfortable life in America right now is almost fucking impossible.
All right, this ain't Trump, bruh. Like, people love to put that name Trump on everything that goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? You constipated, it's Trump fault. You got a pimple on your forehead, it is Trump fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. My man is talking about filling up your car. To my knowledge, I'm living in Virginia. I've seen gas lower. I've seen it lower than what it was, even when Trump was in office earlier. Spend $70 for your car, get a Toyota, bro. You know what I'm saying? You want to be educated, so you want to go to school so you can do something with your life. Who said you got to go to school to do something with your life? But let's say you go to school. Okay? You understand that it's the school's fault why school is that much to go to, right? Because the government allows schools to name a price because they know the government's going to loan out so much money to certain students that qualify for financial aid. And so they use it up to the T. And this is Trump's fault? Nah. I see the comment section right now. People are saying America sucks. I still remember when a McChicken cost $1. McChickens aren't even real chicken, bro. Chill out.
Living in America is so expensive that it's not even living anymore. It's just a recurring subscription. You pay to live, you pay to work, pay to eat, you pay to sleep. Rent, more than half your income. Groceries, doubled within a year. Gas, insurance.
If rent is more than half of your income, you need to have roommates.
Bills, taxes, damn near make money just to give it away. You're not living the dream. You're financing your own.
That's all you can do with money, is invest it and pay for stuff. You save it, okay, somebody else is investing it for you. What do you think happens when you put your money in a savings account? The banks are trading it. The banks are investing it. The banks are loaning it out to cover their ass so they can loan out your money and then have an interest rate for somebody else. And then by the time you want your money and have access to it, they got your money. It's meant to circulate.
Exhaustion. And their solution is budget better. Like you're out here buying Ferraris and filet mignon every single day.
No, most people are overspending on credit cards, paying the minimum, paying interest, taking out home loans. Like, if you have to pay interest on anything, you're losing. And I'm in student loan debt and I have a car note, but I'm working to pay that off aggressively. And that means after my 9 to 5, I got a 5 to 9. But people like this complain all the time. Oh, we don't have any money left. Cap. You're just not doing the right things in order for you to have money left.
When in all reality, you're broke just buying basic needs. And here's the kicker. You do everything right. You go to school, you get the job, you play by the rules, and you're still barely hanging on.
Because it is a lie. It's a lie. Go to school, you'll get a higher paying job. It ain't no guarantee. They guarantee you get a degree if you follow their curriculum. go to school, you have a better chance of getting a higher paying job. You're nervous for the interview. Why? Because you don't even know how to sell yourself. So it's been a lie. There's nothing wrong with the college degree, but when are people going to wake up and recognize that it's always been your responsibility for you to accomplish things that you want to accomplish? Some people are actually comfortable living paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? As long as they can pay their bills, they're good. I ain't trying to live like that. And certain people who are like this, who are complaining about it, obviously he's not okay with it, but he's not doing anything to improve off of it, as to my knowledge. He gonna be in the same situation as the person that's comfortable.
Not your fault. The system was built by design. They want you broke, distracted, and grateful for crumbs.
Yes, they want you watching Netflix. They want you watching Hulu. They want you scrolling on TikTok. They want you scrolling on Instagram and Facebook. YouTube is a little different. You can learn. It's one of the reasons why I make these videos, so we can actually hear what other people are saying and actually have a wealthy mindset. As many people hate the rich, man, you can hate them as much as you want. You know what I'm saying? I'm working to be wealthy. I wouldn't say rich, but I want to be. I want my money to be making money, man, and I want to make a lot of it. And a lot of y'all can be mad because of that. I don't give a damn. Stay broke then.
As a stressed, tired population doesn't rebel, it complies. Living in America is so expensive.
All right.
As a Londoner living in the US, this is the greediest country I have ever lived in. So here's a list of things I've had to pay for which make no sense and would send the European mind into absolute psychosis. Let's kick it off strong with number 1. I pay processing fees for my rent. I pay my rent and then I pay $6 to process my rent.
He's probably paying with debit card or credit card. There's called vendors, and they're the middleman between the company and you, and they handle the transaction. And they do the transfers. So yeah, somebody's making the money in between.
Why am I paying you money to take my money?
If you do ACH, you don't pay fees. Unless I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section down below. But I'm probably not, because I've lived long enough to live in three apartments. And I have friends that live in apartments too. And I'm like, we ain't had to pay no processing fees if we didn't pay with a debit card, especially a credit card.
Now, the next thing is I didn't realize how expensive healthcare actually is. But one day I had a really bad toothache and I went to the emergency room. First mistake. They scanned my insurance card, put me in a queue, and when I finally get to see a doctor, he looks at my tooth and says, yeah, we can't actually help you. You need to go see a dentist tomorrow morning. I said, cool. 2 weeks go by, I get my bill. $600. Luckily, I had insurance, so I paid $120. But think about this for a second. I paid $120 for a doctor to tell me he can't help me.
Oh, I thought he said $120 for the doctor or the dentist to actually work on.
Now, this one takes me off beyond my imagination. I stayed at the Intercontinental Hotel in Chicago, stayed there for 2 nights for around $200 a night, plus I paid for valet parking. But when I got my bill, the numbers just weren't adding up. On top of all the money and taxes I paid, they still charged me a $32 resort fee. What is a resort fee? And when I'm asking the receptionist what is a resort fee, nobody can answer my question. And what's even worse is it's not a flat fee, it's $32 per night. The next one was...
Nah, that's kind of crazy. I thought it was going to say something like a damage waiver just in case anything get damaged. But if nothing is damaged, then you get that refund. But it doesn't even sound like that. Have you all ever been billed a resort fee? I know I haven't.
Kind of annoying. I got my car towed. $350. Pro tip, do not let your car stay there overnight. Now the next one is tip culture. And since...
Now he could have dodged that. He could have dodged that, man. Like,
living here, I've learned to leave a 10% tip. But think about this for a second. Your boss is so greedy that he doesn't pay you not a livable wage, doesn't pay you a survivable wage, then guilt trips us, his customers, into covering the rest of your wage for you. The level of greed you need to have to even think of that concept is literally something only Mr. Krabs would.
Well, in the restaurant business, the profit margins aren't high unless you're selling alcohol. So they don't make a lot of money to begin with in the restaurant business. So I believe that's why tipping is a thing in the service business when it comes down to, you getting fed and getting served. Now, tips are everywhere, in Subway and Starbucks and whatnot. I tip everywhere because I believe money is abundant. Even if it's $1, I'm like, take it. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I'm ingraining that money is going to come back to me. I'm attracting tons of money from unexpected directions and intentional directions. So you can have that stingy ass mindset of not tipping. That's cool. I'm not doing it because I truly believe I should tip everyone. I'm doing it because I truly believe money is abundant. And if I give it away, I know I'm putting things out there in the world that are going to return it to me.
Do. Now, honestly, guys, this list is 25 things long. So if you want to see a part 2 or you like,
we're not going to see the part 2, but subscribe if you like the content for sure.
I am so tired of living my life in survival mode because despite having 2 college degrees and making close to $80,000 a year, I still cannot keep up with the cost of living. I still cannot afford all of my bills every month and have to live paycheck to paycheck. I think that's absolutely ridiculous.
80 grand a year isn't bad. But I'm wondering if she has kids. Oh, wait. Is that her pregnant up there? Let's continue.
I am sacrificing my mental health, my time, and my energy to take care of people in their most vulnerable moments. And a lot of the time, they do not make it. At the very least, I should be able to pay my bills.
Okay, sound like she a nurse or somebody in the healthcare industry. Shout out to my healthcare workers for sure. I know that's not an easy job. All props to y'all.
And for anyone who's thinking, oh, well, you shouldn't have chose that job. Somebody has to do it. And you know damn well, if your loved one was critically ill, you would want somebody to take care of them, right? Something has to give. I cannot keep doing this.
It's investing, baby. It's investing. You know what I'm saying? Living with roommates. You know what I'm saying? We watched a video earlier today where somebody was talking about it's $150 to take care of their cell phone bill. No, it's not. You paying for the service and the phone that you want to break up into 24 payments because they made you think you needed the latest and greatest. Cap. You know what I'm saying? What are you buying for food? Is it protein filled? Because protein helps you feel more full than stuffing yourself with carbs. And stuff costs more as well. Don't get me wrong, protein filled stuff costs money too, but you'll be full for longer. You got to play the smart role. And these are little tweaks that you can make to save a whole bunch of money. But let me know what your thoughts on this in the comment section down below.
And when are we gonna address the fact that the cost of living is literally costing a fucking living? I ain't signed up for this shit. A motherfucker is tired. Very grateful to be able to obtain in this time that we're living in. Cause God forbid you gotta start over. They're not even hiring, not only for degrees, but for regular jobs, regular positions. They're not hiring for shit. Then don't have been somewhere where the cost of living was already high as a motherfucker. Now it's triple double that. Quality shit as fuck. Go to the grocery store. The second you buy some motherfucking fruit, you bring that shit home. Do you know you got 30 minutes? 30. Gas is literally lasting 2 and a possible. Bitch, 48 hours? All I did was go to work and back home.
So I don't even care about the price of gas. I drive an EV, but even like I have a second vehicle too that's paid off. But even when I drove that vehicle, I don't give a damn about the price of gas. You know why? Because when I need to get somewhere from point A to point B, I gotta have gas anyways. There's no point in complaining about gas because you need it. That's like complaining about air. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be like, damn, I had to take 10 breaths just to say that sentence. Why do my lungs have to work that hard? It's like, would you rather not breathe? Would you rather walk? Maybe if you're in a city area, then take public transportation. But let's not complain about the price of gas, please.
Like, it's not even that far, bitch. I'm like 10 minutes away. Like, I'm over it for real, though. I'm truly over it. Then they wonder why motherfuckers ain't having kids. Like, is you cool? For
Facts.
what? Motherfuckers without
Facts.
kids don't even want them anymore. Like, it is.
I be telling people all the time, man, I'm not having kids unless I'm wealthy. And a millionaire. You can hate it or you can love it. I don't give a damn. Because at the end of the day, people can, kids are great. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. It's truly a blessing. Okay, cool. But the only, you know what I'm saying? The only baby that was put into a woman's womb without having to do the act was Jesus. So I know a baby ain't going to appear out the blue in my life. So I'm good. I'm not going to wait till I'm a millionaire. I'm going to become a millionaire. And then it's going to be cool. We can have the kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think $1 million is enough, actually. Now thinking about it, it's not even enough. If you spend $1, you're not a millionaire no more. But I really meant just having like $1 million in assets. I even did the math on this, right? And it's still not a livable wage. especially for having a family. But if you get $1 million and you have it spread among different high yield savings accounts, and you get paid an average of 6% per year, I believe that's $5,000 a month, right? Times 6%. Yeah. So you're making $60,000 a year, $5,000 a month by just having $1 million spread among high yield savings account. That's not even investing into stocks or anything yet.
It's just no, they don't even want them, and then everybody else that have them already, they're done. They're done. Bitches is starting to get their tubes tied. Bitch, it's cool. Don't worry about it. I don't have to get an abortion. I'm not having no more. Like, is y'all fucking cool? It's crazy out here. On top of it's being HIV every motherfucking word you turn, bitch. Ain't nobody worried about fucking. Then y'all.
All right, what, bruh? Like, stay out the streets, man. Stay out the streets, man. What?
Getting ready to take away Medicare and Medicaid. Who the fuck got time to be raising kids on top of taking care of their elder loved ones?
Hey, look, the cost of living is just getting higher and higher, man. At the end of the day, it's gonna be a bigger gap between the have and have-nots, and I'd rather not be the people who have not.
We are in a depression right now, but the only reason it's not called that is because the wealthy people are wealthier than they've ever been. It's not a depression for the rich people. The rich people are doing great. During the Great Depression, the average cost of a home was about $4,900, which today is equivalent to about $90,000.
But why compare? Why compare when you weren't even born? I don't compare because I won't even living during them times, man. I'm good. Like, I'm not about to, yeah, man, the Great Depression, bro. I really wish I lived in the Great Depression. Bro, it's called the Great Depression, bro. Why are we looking at prices labeled over the Great Depression, bro?
It's 12
It's
o'clock.
depression. Am I wrong? No.
It was around 3 times the average person's wages. Today, in 2026, the average cost of a home is around $410K, which is about 8 times the average person's wages. This is not accidental. This is not just inflation. This is deliberate overpricing by wealthy people so that they could get extra profit into their pocket. And you know what? That's working really well for them, because back in 1985, I think there were only about 9 billionaires in the US, and now there are over 1,000. And we're even
Okay, so let's just do the math real quick. He just said that the average cost of a house is like $410,000. All right. If you get $410,000 and you pay a 20-year mortgage, all right, this is not including interest, by the way. It's $20,000 a year. We're not talking about you getting a lawnmower, buying gas for the lawnmower, cutting the grass, making sure you get True Green to make your grass look green, paying property taxes, making sure that you got home improvements along those 20 years. If anything breaks and you don't have homeowner insurance coverage under it anymore, or something voids the warranty, you got to pay more money. We're not even talking about utilities yet. But $20,000 a year for 20 years is somewhere along the lines of $400,000. Now, if you get an apartment, let's say that's $1,600 times 12 months. That's $19,000 a year. So rent is just about the same price as getting a house, if not a little bit less. If it's more, okay, cool. But you don't have to be obligated to fix all the problems that come with the house. So don't get a house. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I told y'all before in the video, and some of y'all got pissed. It was just like, oh, bro, who has the money everybody doesn't have the money to buy a house. Okay, cool. Right now, as of this moment, in this second, I don't have enough money to buy a house cash, but I'm going to figure out a way. That don't mean I can't figure out a way. I'm not about to pay interest to a bank just because I don't have the money, just so I can say I own something, just so I have to pay them 20 years. And don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on the homeowners out here that follow this channel and watch my videos. Shout out to y'all. There's different routes to wealth, but I'd rather rent and then own a home, rent that mug. I'm trying to keep it clean, y'all. Rent that mug out and then have the person who's paying me rent for my house pay the mortgage, and then I make the profits because I paid for the house in cash.
Been on track to have our first trillionaire. Can you imagine such an unfathomable amount of wealth? The thing is, you can't. Just how unimaginable is that? Let's put it this way. If you counted one number per second, it would take you about 31 years to count to a billion if you were counting.
It don't even matter, bro. People gonna hate on the rich as long as they poor. You know what I'm saying?
No one can buy a house anymore. So now we're forced to rent. But then the rent got expensive. So now we have to buy an RV. Now,
It's actually pretty
illegal
smart though.
to live in the RV. So we try to live in our car. It's legal to live in the car too! So we become homeless? We can still live on the street.
Okay, so just rent. It's not that complicated.
I'm going to explain to you guys how much more expensive things are today than they were even 3 years ago based off of my current financial situation. So 4 years ago, when I graduated law school, I graduated making $65,000 a year. I was living in a 1-bedroom by myself, paying $1,400 a month. After the first 3 months, my boyfriend moved in, and so then we were splitting it, so it was $700 a piece. But he lost his job at one point, and so for 3 months before he got a new one, I was covering the rent all by myself. So it was about 6 months.
Did they not have a savings? Did he not have a savings?
Of me paying $1,400 a month for that year-long lease. Now I make about $85,000 a year. I have 2 roommates, and we split the rent 3 ways. And usually my rent is like $950, something around that. So I'm making technically $20,000 more a year. I'm paying roughly the same of what I was paying in rent. And I have never been more stressed out about money in my entire life.
I mean, you said that you were living in a 1-bedroom. It cost $1,400. You were splitting it. It was $700 a piece. You moved, and then you have 3 roommates. Does that mean you have a 3-bedroom? Because that's genuinely going to cost more than a 1-bedroom. It's more square footage. It's probably 2-bathroom. Yeah, you're making $20,000 more, but it's not costing you $20,000 more per year in order for you to live with those 2 other roommates. So if you think about it, her $700 a month times 12 is $8,400 a year for rent. That sounds so sweet. All right. But if you get her new rent model, which is $900 a month, $8,400 versus $10,800. So really, you're only paying $2,400 more per year to live with those other 2 roommates. So if you're complaining about $20,000, then that means somewhere along the line, you're missing $18,600. Am I right? Yeah, $18,600. Where's your $18,600 going? Numbers aren't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? It's not the rent that's making her miss the $18,000, man. Something's going on. Something's going on. I don't believe people write out what they spend and track it. I just don't.
Every time I think about or trying to move out my parents' house, the cost of living just get higher and higher. Like, insurance goes up, gas goes up, not to mention the fact that you got to make 3 times the rent of wherever you live at, which is kind of insane because the average person my age ain't even making what I'm making. Not to mention
that's facts. I do agree with that. It was crazy when I moved into my first apartment. I found one apartment that didn't require you to make 3 times the rent, and I was so grateful for it. But by the time it was time for me to move into another apartment, they asked for 3 times the rent. And that first month, I think I made close to $7,000, and my girl was making a couple $1,000, and we surpassed that 3 times a month. But we were like, yo, I don't know how other people our age are gonna make it. When honestly, stay your ass at home, man. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of that, man. You know what I'm saying? Take advantage of it. You know, if your parents are gonna allow it, even if they charge you rent. You know what I'm saying? Even if they charge you rent, my people charge me rent. That's cool. You know, I'm still saving money. I'm still investing. I just got to be more smart and wise with my money.
Fact that I check my pay stubs all the time. I'm not making as nearly as what I would make if they ain't take all them fucking taxes out of my checks every 2 weeks. Like,
Yo, and we're gonna react to a tax return video of people like literally blowing their money because you know people definitely complain about taxes being taken out, but if you start a business, you get to have tax write offs. You know what I'm saying? Meaning they're not gonna take taxes out from, or even if you use the money that you got taxed on, you can get a return because you used it to invest into the business. So the loopholes that the poor people who have a poor mindset, I'm gonna say a poor mindset instead of poor people, but the people who have a poor mindset towards the people who figure out loopholes for taxes, you understand you can play by those same rules, right? You just got to learn how to invest into yourself so you can learn something and figure out how to write some stuff off legitly. You know what I'm saying? It's not hard. You just gotta separate yourself from what most people do, which is just chill on the weekend, sleep in. You know what I'm saying? Go to the bar, go to the club, you know, watch Netflix, you know, scroll on their phone. You just gotta change a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. Take a little time out your day, but most people won't.
and
Bruh, being an adult literally means.
Hold on.
every you know what I'm saying? And like the average like monthly cost of it is like $2,500 a month. Like that's crazy. Like, and me personally, I never agreed with having to have more than one source of income. In my opinion, you having more than one source of income should be a choice. It shouldn't be I shouldn't need two sources of income to fucking survive.
That word should is really strong. You understand me? When you say should, you're coming from entitlement. The truth is you don't have to have a second stream of income. Just stay broke. Just stay complaining. Like this guy. I don't care if you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. If you got this type of mindset, stay in your situation. Be comfortable because that's exactly what you're doing. You have the energy to complain, but that same energy you can use to create something positive. But instead, you'd rather give yourself excuses as to why you can't do it. Oh, I shouldn't have to create multiple streams of income to live. Okay, don't. And the people who do are going to live better lives than you. Be happy.
I'm 23, bruh. God damn. I am fucking 23. And I'm already like having a midlife crisis for real. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to move out my parents' crib, but I ain't trying to live check to fucking check. Like, I'm sitting here making more money than I ever made ever in my life in a year span. And it's still not enough for me to fucking move out and be able to fucking sustain a living. Like, we're doomed, bro. And they wait until we get grown to do shit like this. Like, yeah, it's
My man got to read a book, bro. You got to read. It's a broke mindset, man. Look at this. Look at this comment. I don't want to overwork myself with multiple jobs. I don't even need to read the rest of it. We're going to read the rest of it, but let's just take a moment of silence real quick. I don't want to overwork myself with multiple jobs. What does overworked mean? Imagine you going to the gym, you wanting to lose weight and build muscle, and you overwork your muscles. I mean, to a certain degree, you could injure yourself, but you're essentially pushing yourself physically to challenge your muscles in order for your muscles to grow stronger. So in moments of distress and discomfort, there's growth. Growth can't be made while you're comfortable. But this person says, I don't want to overwork myself with multiple jobs. You're lazy as hell. They want us to work to the point where we're paying bills but never home. That's called grinding. I don't want that for myself. I want to survive on one income. Is anybody going to speak up? Get educated, get a skill, run your own business. That requires them to overwork themselves. You can't just start a business and just, you know what I'm saying, hope for the best. And people say get educated. But then you got people in college talk about how it's hard to get a job and stuff. Look, bruh, overwork yourself. It's called grind mode. It's not anything sexy about it. Surprise. I tried it. I tried to look for shortcuts. They don't work. Sometimes you got to be up 12:14 in the morning making YouTube videos on a Friday night after working a 9-hour shift. Surprise. Shit ain't sweet out here. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, being an adult literally means you always just need something. If it ain't paper towels, it's toilet tissue. If it ain't toilet tissue, you need a plunger. If it's not a plunger, you need Cascade dish pods. If it's not dish pods, you need laundry detergent. If it's not laundry detergent, you need to get your clothes altered. If you need your cat food, dog food, fish food, frog food, like it's always need something. And then after you get all that figured out, your car start making funny noises.
All right, man. If this is your life, let me tell you what to do real quick, right? Because I understand. You know what I'm saying? There's problems everywhere. But the more problems we have, the more solutions you can have as well for you to avoid those problems in the future or to help other people out. So, one of the things that I did when I was in a rut and I was thinking, man, life is just beating me up right now. Bills and all this and that and third going wrong. Get you a notebook or get your iPad and your Apple Pencil and write a list of things that you're grateful for. That's it. Every morning you wake up, let that be one of the first things that you do. Write down 1 through 20, the things that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for a working body. I'm grateful for eyes that can see. I'm grateful for a roof over my head. I'm grateful for the clothes that I got. I'm grateful for my, you know what I'm saying? My hair, anything. You know what I'm saying? Because there's somebody out here without the stuff that you have, and they wish they had the opportunities that you have. And so you can get in a rut because the stuff we consume, the problems that we allow to grow, and it isn't until we shift our focus, again, our mindset, what you focus on is what you start consuming. If you focus on stuff that you have, your brain can't focus on stuff that you don't have. And then you start to create more excuses as to why you can get these problems solved more than what's happening to you. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens because of you. So what are you going to do about it at the end of the day? And it's so crazy to me that some grown ass people, I mean, that are older than me, still have this victim ass childish mindset to where they're just like, well, everything doesn't work in your way in life. Like, I don't know that shit. Like, bro, let's be real, bro. You don't have to be 50 years old to understand that life isn't always going to work in your favor. You find that out as a child because you don't get everything you want as a child. Mom, can I get McDonald's? We ain't got McDonald's money. Okay, damn. You know what I'm saying? When I get a job, I'm going to get McDonald's. Like, bro, shift your focus, you shift everything.